Cats are absolute masters of disguise. In the wild, showing any sign of weakness, injury, or illness makes a small predator like a cat an easy target for larger animals. Because of this deeply ingrained evolutionary survival instinct, your sweet household feline will go to extraordinary lengths to hide their discomfort from you. By the time a cat is visibly crying out, limping heavily, or completely collapsing, they are often in an advanced stage of severe physical distress. As loving pet owners, it is terrifying to realize that our companions could be suffering in silence right in front of us, while we misinterpret their quiet cues as simple moodiness, old age, or cute quirky behavior. Veterinary behaviorists and feline pain specialists emphasize that detecting subtle behavioral shifts early is often the single most critical factor in saving a cat's life or preventing chronic, agonizing conditions. Understanding the quiet language of feline suffering empowers us to step in before it is too late, turning fear into life-saving action. One of the most heartbreakingly subtle indications that a cat is experiencing serious discomfort involves a drastic change in their daily grooming routine. You might notice that your usually pristine companion has suddenly developed an unkempt, matted, or greasy coat, particularly around their lower back, hind legs, or tail base. When a cat suffers from joint inflammation, severe arthritis, or internal abdominal pain, the simple act of twisting their body to groom becomes agonizing. They will avoid reaching those sensitive areas altogether, resulting in a dull, messy appearance. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, localized pain can trigger intense compulsive overgrooming. A cat dealing with lower urinary tract distress, severe nerve sensitivity, or localized joint discomfort may lick or chew a single spot on their abdomen, paws, or thighs until the fur is completely worn away and the skin is raw. If you notice your cat hyper-focusing on licking a specific region of their body until bald patches appear, or if their entire coat starts looking neglected, their body is signaling a silent cry for relief. Moving on to another surprising sign, a cat's sleeping posture and chosen resting locations can reveal volumes about their internal state. Healthy cats love to stretch out completely, exposes their bellies, or curl up into soft, relaxed shapes when they feel secure and pain-free. However, a cat enduring silent agony will often adopt what veterinary experts call the hunched posture. They will sit with all four paws tucked tightly beneath their chest, their shoulders raised high toward their ears, and their head held low toward the ground, often staring at the floor with a tense, rigid body. They look as though they are bracing themselves against constant internal discomfort. Furthermore, a pain-stricken cat will frequently abandon their favorite cozy spots, like your bed or high window perches, preferring to sleep on hard, cold floors or tucked away in obscure, dark places like the back of a dark closet, under a bed, or behind heavy furniture. When a cat actively isolates themselves and adopts a guarded, hunched stance, it is rarely just a mood swing. It is a protective mechanism against severe distress. Another deeply telltale sign lies within the subtle nuances of facial expressions, a phenomenon now scientifically categorized by veterinary scientists using feline grimace scales. When a cat is in significant pain, the soft muscles of their face tighten dramatically. Their eyes, rather than being bright and wide, become narrowed, semi-closed, or squinted, giving them a heavy-lidded or vacant glaze. The space between their ears widens as the ears rotate outward and flatten downward toward the sides of their head. You may also notice their muzzle area tightening, causing their whiskers to pull back flat against the sides of their face or clump together, rather than fanning out naturally. Pay close attention to their gaze as well. A cat in distress will often display a vacant, glassy-eyed stare, looking right through you or fixating on a wall for long stretches of time. Their eyes are reflecting an internal focus on enduring bodily stress, making facial changes one of the most reliable windows into their emotional and physical well-being. Transitioning to changes in mobility and daily movement, these are often brushed off as mere signs of aging, but growing older should never be synonymous with suffering. If you notice your cat hesitating before making jumps they used to execute effortlessly, or if they begin using intermediate furniture as steps to reach a higher spot, their joints or spine are likely causing them significant sharp pain. A cat experiencing distress may walk with a subtle stiffness, a shortened stride, or a slightly arched lower back. You might notice them gingerly testing their weight before taking a step, or choosing to walk around a room rather than leaping over small obstacles. Even the simple act of walking down a flight of stairs can become a daunting challenge, prompting them to descend sideways or slowly, step by agonizing step. Dismissing these mobility shifts as simple signs of a cat getting older often leaves manageable conditions, such as severe osteoarthritis, completely untreated. Along with physical movement, sudden and inexplicable alterations in litter box habits are frequently misunderstood as behavioral spite or poor training, when in reality they are urgent medical red flags. When a cat is suffering from severe conditions like lower urinary tract disease, kidney issues, or painful constipation, the litter box becomes strongly associated with that physical anguish. A cat may enter the box, strain visibly, or let out a quiet, distressed vocalization while attempting to eliminate. If the pain is sharp enough, they may jump out of the box frantically mid-process and seek out soft, cool surfaces like bath mats, laundry piles, or tiled floors to relieve themselves. Additionally, high-sided litter boxes can become physically unbearable for a cat with aching hips or spine issues to climb into. If a previously pristine cat suddenly stops using their litter box, reacting with frustration or punishment will only heighten their terror. The most compassionate response is to recognize that their body is failing to function comfortably. Yet another critical indicator is a distinct shift in their social interaction and overall temperament. Pain fundamentally alters how a living creature perceives their environment, making a cat feel remarkably vulnerable and defenseless. A cat that was once affectionate, demanding lap time, and greeting you at the door may suddenly turn withdrawn, retreating whenever you walk into the room. Conversely, a naturally independent or quiet cat might suddenly become unusually needy, following you everywhere while letting out low, repetitive meows, desperately seeking comfort for a sensation they cannot understand. Even more alarmingly, physical suffering can trigger uncharacteristic aggression. If your usually gentle companion growls, hisses, swathes, or nips when you touch a specific area like their lower back, abdomen, or legs, this is a knee-jerk defensive reaction driven entirely by fear of worsening pain. They are not acting out of malice. They are desperately trying to protect their fragile body from further touch. Furthermore, subtle fluctuations in eating and drinking patterns serve as vital indicators of internal distress. While a complete loss of appetite is an obvious warning sign, subtle changes in how a cat consumes food are just as telling. A cat suffering from severe dental disease, mouth ulcers, or internal organ inflammation may approach their food bowl with clear hunger, only to sniff it, drop a piece of kibble, or tilt their head awkwardly while trying to chew. They may chew entirely on one side of their mouth, drool excessively, or shake their head abruptly while eating. In cases of chronic systemic issues like kidney failure or diabetes, you might notice a sudden dramatic increase in water consumption, with your cat standing over the water bowl for minutes at a time, lapping continuously. Any sudden disruption in how your cat interacts with their food and water bowls points directly toward physical discomfort that warrants immediate investigation. It is equally essential to pay attention to subtle vocalizations and breathing patterns, which undergo marked shifts when a cat is enduring distress. While we often associate purring strictly with happiness and contentment, feline behaviorists have well documented that cats also purr as a self-soothing mechanism when they are severely injured, dying, or in extreme pain. Pain-induced purr is often accompanied by a rigid body posture, low energy and tense facial expressions, serving as a biological mechanism to release endorphins and calm their nervous system. Additionally, cats experiencing internal agony or respiratory stress may exhibit rapid, shallow breathing, or you may see their sides moving rhythmically with exaggerated effort even while resting. They may utter low, drawn-out yowls, particularly at night when the house is quiet and distraction is minimal. Learning to distinguish between a joyful purr and a distressed, self-calming purr can mean the difference between missing a crisis and intervening in time. Finally, an unmistakable yet often overlooked sign of severe physical distress is a sudden drop in core body temperature accompanied by extreme lethargy and responsiveness shifts. When a cat's body is overwhelmed by illness, infection, or internal injury, their circulatory system prioritizes blood flow to vital organs, leaving their extremities cold. If you feel your cat's ears, paws, or tail and they feel noticeably chilly to the touch, paired with an inability to stay awake or engage with their surroundings, their body is entering a critical state. They may refuse to react to their favorite toys, ignore high-value treats, or fail to lift their head when you call their name. This level of profound apathy is the ultimate physical collapse of a cat who has exhausted all their energy trying to hide their suffering from the world. Recognizing these 9 subtle warning signs transforms us from simple pet owners into vigilant, empathetic guardians. Because our cats rely entirely on us to interpret their silent language, being observant of the smallest shifts in their coat, posture, facial expressions, mobility, litter box habits, temperament, appetite, vocalizations, and energy levels is the greatest act of love we can provide. Never hesitate to trust your intuition. If your inner voice tells you that something about your cat's subtle behavior feels wrong, reach out to a trusted veterinarian immediately. Early intervention not only relieves unnecessary suffering but frequently saves lives. What subtle behaviors have you noticed in your own cats that turned out to be a cry for help? Share your stories in the comments below. Your experience could help another owner spot a critical sign in time to save their pet. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to join our passionate community of cat lovers. And if you want to understand even more about what your feline companion is secretly trying to communicate, Click on the video appearing on your screen right now to discover the hidden reasons behind why your cat sleeps in specific positions on your bed. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.